Hello, everyone, and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is, of course, Collection Mania Monday, so we've got our Black Widows here, and I've got the entire 144 set all swatched out here. Wonderful set of pencils. I haven't used them a whole lot, but I have used them quite a bit now. I've done a couple of different full-page colors of wonderful results with them. So we have a good selection of yellows, some lovely oranges into our skin tones and pale colors. And this set, it goes a little wonky because it's a whole bunch of different sets all put together. And I had, I think it was Claire's setup that I used. So, and it seems to work quite well. She's got all the browns together with the yellows and the oranges, and then the greens into the blues, purples, into the reds, the pinks, and then into the pinky purples, into some more of the darker browns, into the grays, into the blacks and whites. Now, the pencils look like a mishmash because of the fact that they are several different sets all put together, and they changed different styles. So you have these ones here with only a little bit, which is your skin tone set. These ones here with a larger amount of coloring on the end, which is your monarch set. And then these ones here with just black with just the little color changes in the icons here. Like this one here is Scorpion, and this one here is Cobra, and this one here is Black Widow. So there's a whole bunch of different things. When you look at the set itself, it doesn't look like it's cohesive, but it is. They all work very well together, which is great. And we're going to color with them today on this wonderful little mushroom here. And I'm going to switch you over to the other camera so you can see better. So we're going to do this mushroom. The last one that we did, as you may remember, was the Art and Fly. And then before the Art and Fly was the Arteza. And then, of course, the Amazon Basics. So this one right here is going to be our Black Widows. And I have lots of bees. So, and just so you know, because we will get down to it at some point in the bees probably, I was playing with a couple of Karen markers that I got out of my sketch box and did this one here with those markers. And it turned out quite nice. So I like the Karen markers. They're a water-based marker though, so it feels weird. But other than that, they're a good marker. I'm going to turn the light on. There we go. Give you a nice bright area. Now we're going to do this mushroom, and we're going to add some yellow. And they sharpen really nicely too and hold that point for quite a while. So we're going to just add a bit of yellow. Now the reason why I'm putting down the yellow first instead of putting down the red first is because I want part of this yellow to turn orange. So I want to put the red down over top of the edges to make it orange, instead of having to use an orange pencil. Makes sense? And this is just the light yellow, which is one of the Cobra set. All right, now we're going to take, I think we'll use, where is it? Oh, there it is. We'll use Ladybug as soon as I can find it here. This one here is Ladybug. Nope, that's Blood Red. Where's my Ladybug? Uh-oh, don't tell me I didn't put it back in the right spot. There's Ladybug. So Ladybug is a deeper red. It's less orange in it, and you'll see why after I go over this yellow area. Now this paper is very, very toothy, so it will take a couple of passes to get the color saturation that I want. But it also gives us an opportunity to take a look on how they blend. So I'm just going to go over pretty much the entire mushroom with this ladybug. And then I will, of course, put in our shadow areas. Trying to make these Monday videos a little bit shorter. But yeah, if we don't, we don't. Not a big deal. I'm also trying not to rush things so that you don't get the quality and the information to make a good decision on anything. If you decide that these are a pencil that you want in your collection, I want you to have as much information as you can with them. And like I said, I'm going to go over some of these yellows just to make them a little bit orange. And when I blend it, that will show through. Let me know if, well, I guess leave me a message in the comment section if I have blocked your view, and I will try to make sure next time that that doesn't happen. I try really hard not to block the view, but sometimes I get concentrating on what I'm doing and not concentrating on where the camera is and where my arm is in conjunction to the camera. So you end up getting a really good picture of my arm. You can watch my wristwatch and tell me what time it is. And of course, I always have a tendency to flip the paper around, so I'm really sorry about that, but it's a habit so that I can get a better grasp of where my pencil is going, and I can't change that, so it's just what I do. Now, moving on to the next mushroom with the same color, and I'm just going around the little white spots. And I am going to leave these white spots white. I will put their shadow in and whatnot and leave them as white as possible. I hope everybody has had a good start to their week. I know it's Monday and Mondays are bleh. I have a lot of things I have to get done today. Oh, goodness, my week is just so messed up right now. My washer decided to die yesterday, so I've got so much to do to get the house prepared for the new washer and dryer to come in. With all this COVID stuff, our state is shutting down, so I got to make sure I get out to the grocery store and get everything stocked so that when they do go into full shutdown, I'm not sitting here going, we're out of toilet paper. A friend of mine has told me that they've already started hoarding toilet paper and started running out in places, so hopefully I have enough to get us through. If not, oh well, we'll have to get a bidet. There are ways of dealing with it. Okay, so I'm just going over it one more time just to make sure that most of that white spot is cleaned up, because I see a lot of white spot and I don't want to see a lot of white spot. And that's just, my own personal thing. I'm pretty sure that all of you agree white spot is yucky. Although the texture of some papers and the white spot in some instances is actually really cool. And sometimes I just leave it. It all depends upon what I'm coloring. If I want that to look extremely smooth or if I want it to look textured. Sometimes with trees especially, I will leave the texture of the paper show through so that it looks like a textured tree. Okay, so we've got the red down. Now we're going to take mushroom color, which I think I actually have a pencil in here somewhere called mushroom. I just got to find it. It is in the peachy colors. So it's probably this one. Oh, there it is. And I'll go over that peachy color with another color just to darken it up a little bit, probably with a sandy brown color. I just want to get some mushroomy type color down here. And then I need a dark blue. And I think, what color is this? Oh, that's a green. I think the dark blues are on this page here. And I think this one here would be good. So this is navy blue. That's, I don't want navy blue. It's got a little bit too much. Galaxy blue will work. Okay, so this has got a good tip on it, but it's blunted at the end. So if you can see that, you can see that it's blunted at the end. So I'm going to quickly run it through the sharpener just to give it that fine point that I want, because these pictures are so small. Like, they're really tiny. I have them really ultra close up for you so you can see what's going on. But they are really small, so it's amazing how long it takes me to do something this small. Okay. And I'm just going to go around each of these little dots here. Just to give them a little bit of depth and shadow. And I think that's pretty good there. And then we're going to do the same thing on the corners here. Give it a little bit of that shadow. I'm just going to go around the edge. And I'm doing this very, very loosely so that it blends up into the red a bit. Then, of course, we're going to go around each of the dots. And I'm doing this on some of them quite liberally because I want it to look like that dot is really, really deep. That there's either a protrusion or extrusion. And these I want to look like they're sticking up. But this, I want it to look like it's embedded, because it will be. because you're cutting a hole out, right? So we just add a little bit of extra around that window. Just like that. Now we need, I think, this one. And this is light mocha. And we're just going to add it to that mushroom color. And I'm just going to do a very, very light coat of it on top of this mushroom color on this part, because I don't want it to be overly dark. But I also don't want it to be extremely pink. So then we're going to take this one, which is mahogany, and we're just going to do a little bit of a shadow on the inside there. And down here on this area here, because the mushroom is overhanging it. Same with around the door, because it's a cutout. So we're just going to make it look like it's cut out, and around this little window here. And just down here a little bit so that it looks like a mushroom. Okay, so there's our mushroom. Now I'm going to take our white, and this one is snow, and I'm just going to fill in those white spots. And a lot of people don't bother with coloring the areas that are going to be white. I do, because if I'm going to do like a pastel background or something, it won't stick to that white. And if it does, it's easily removed, so it's not a big deal. And I'm going to go purple with the window coverings and the door. So I'm just going to take this light purple and go over the door. Now I'm going to do light to dark here because it is such a small area, and I want the dark to stand out a little bit more on the door. And because I'm using a color very close to the original, it's going to blend in too much if I put the dark down first, so that shadow won't stand out as much. So I put the first layer down, then I finish it off. Okay, and same with the window coverings here because they are very small. I'm going to do the first coat, nice light coat, and then I'll finish them off after I've got the shadows in. And of course, these are very, very tiny, so it's going to have a lot more shadow. And there we go. Now for the windows, we're going to use this blue here. If I can get it out. And we're just going to put in enough that it looks like a window. Same with down there. And I know I should be using my brush, but I keep forgetting. And for the chimney, chimney, chim tree. Every time I hear that word, that's what it reminds me of. So we're going to use gray horn for this because it's so small. And that's the closest color I have to a silvery gray color. And as you can see, they cover quite nicely. You know, I haven't blended anything. I haven't gone over anything with more than just the color I'm putting on the page. So they are blending quite nicely on what is actually very toothy paper. Now we're going to do the grass. And we're going to do this in two different little colors. So I'm just going to do the shadowy areas. I guess they're plants. I'm going to do this with the same shadow color. Just to make it stand out a bit. Then I'm going to take a lighter color and go over it, if I can get it out of the bag. Sometimes the bag can be a little bit tight. And once you blend that dark into the light, and the reason why I put the dark down first on such a small area is because I knew this light would not overtake it. It would just enhance it, and it would turn it to the color that I wanted it to be. Alrighty. And if you find that your light is overtaken your dark, of course you can go over the dark a little bit. Or if you find, like for the example, this one here, where I just want a little bit more dark, you just go over it. And then just take your other one, just go over it a little bit, just to spread it out, blend it in. All right, so now we just got this little mushrooms here. And I think we're going to go with, well, I guess they're flowers. I'm going to go with blue, I think, maybe. Let's see. What color don't we have on there? We've got red, we've got yellow, we've got purple, we've got some blue, we've got green. So let's do those in pink because we don't have a lot of pink on there. So we're going to use this one and this one. So we've got fudge and fairy floss. So I'm going to take the fairy floss first, and I'm just going to do the very tip area of the flowers here. I'm really trying hard to keep my hand out of your way. So we're just going to do the very tip of that, and then we're going to take our fudge and we're just going to blend into it. And bring it down the flower. And I know it probably would have stood out more if I did them blue or yellow or something, but I want that a little bit darker. Fairy Floss is very close to the lighter version of this fudge color, so it's not the same color, but its tonal color is pretty close. So that's that. Now we're just going to do a very light layer of sky. And I'm just going to use this one, I think, just to finish it off. I've moved it out of your view. And I'm just going very, very lightly, just to give it enough of a color that it doesn't look white around it. And once I'm done, I'll turn off the light so you can actually see the proper colors, because the light washes it out quite a bit. I was just saying to a friend of mine the other day that when I first started coloring, supplies were, the higher end stuff was still really expensive, but you could get a really good quality set of pencils like the Artezes, the Black Widows, the Brute Funers, things like that for quite inexpensively. And nowadays, the expense has gotten so high that even Crayolas are expensive. They're not horribly, horribly expensive, but they're way more expensive than they were when I first started with this craft, and it just surprises me every time I see it. Now, this is a different blue than any of the other blues I've used, so it will not compare well against the other ones, but there's our little mushroom. Now I'm going to take the Prisma blender, because these are a wax-based pencil, and I'm going to sharpen it because it's dull. And I'm just going to blend the mushrooms a little bit, just to show you how well the yellow blends into the red and how the blue blends into the red, and to get rid of any white spot and that sort of thing. Now, the reason why I'm using a Prisma blender is because they are a wax-based pencil, and the other blender I use normally is specifically for a polychromo or an oil-based pencil, and it tends to mess with the wax-based pencils quite a bit. And sometimes it doesn't, but some of them it turns them funky colors. So I don't want it to turn it any funky colors. I just want it to blend them. I just want them to be blended together. So the one thing I don't like about the Prismacolor blending pencil is this. It scratches off a good amount of pigment instead of just moving it around. Of course, it's going to be redistributed in areas that are really thin, but it's not the same thing, because if you're only doing a small area, it doesn't matter if it's going to redistribute it, it's still lifting that color off the page. And some of them I have heard, and I have to order them. I haven't ordered one yet because I'm in an ordering freeze. I'm not allowed to order anything until after Christmas. Although, since my washer and dryer decided to kick the bucket yesterday, I think I've got my Christmas present coming on Wednesday. I think I'm going to end up getting a washer and dryer because, yeah, that was an expense we did not expect. But I'm getting a new washer and dryer, so, yeah. And of course, my husband has a tendency to make sure that I get the best of the best, and that he tries to make sure that it's going to last a long time, but washers these days are not made the way they used to be, that's for sure. The washer itself has been having some error codes too, so, but they lasted 11 years, so, which is pretty good. All right, so I've blended that all together now. I'm just going to blend that window a little bit. What I'm doing with the window is I'm actually trying to lift off some of this color just to give it the look of being see-through. And I'll blend this in a little bit more too. All right. And I know I shouldn't be doing it with my hand. I'll take my brush. I can hear you all yelling at me. All right. So what we have here is we've used up these pencils. We have used every single one of these pencils. That's quite a few pencils. I'm going to switch you over so you can see what we've used. So this is what we've used on this little tiny mushroom here. This mushroom here. Let's turn that light off so you can see. So we've used 15 pencils on this mushroom. And they all laid down quite well. This is extremely toothy paper. It is a 67-pound cardstock. And there's two different sides to this paper. There's a very toothy side, and then there's a very smooth side. Normally, I print on the smooth side, and I put it in the printer the wrong way, so I ended up printing on the toothy side, which is fine as well for colored pencils. But if I was doing markers or something like that, it would be a bit of a problem. But as you can see, they all laid down quite nicely. They blended together quite well. There's not a lot of tooth after blending and that sort of thing. So we'll compare them to the other ones. Let's see if I can move you up just a touch so that you can see all of them together. There we go. Well, most of them anyway. So the reds are very close in pigmentation and depth as the Arteza reds. Same with the pinks and purples. They're very close to the Art and Fly in depth. And the greens are very nice as well. So all in all, put together with medium to budget brand pencils here, they seem to hold up against them. They're quite a bit better. I'm just going to change the focus here a little bit. Oh, too much. There we go. Just to get you focused in a little bit better. And well, just going to move you around a little bit so that you can see all of them. All right. There we go. That's a little better. You can't see every bit of them, but you can see quite a bit. So in the browns and that sort of thing in the Art and Fly, comparative to some of the browns, excuse me, in the Black Widow, they're very, very nice on both aspects. This does have quite a few really nice pale colors. So doing skin tones, doing light things like mushrooms and stuff like that, it has a really good selection of colors. The only thing that is very unfortunate with the Black Widows is that there is 6 different little sets that you have to buy to get the entire set of 144 pencils. One of these days, I'm really hoping that they put them all together in one set so that it makes it more cohesive. The Amazon Basics is just a 72-piece set, and it has beautiful colors and a beautiful amount of each color family so that it doesn't feel like you're missing a bunch of different colors. The Arteza is a 120 set, also a lot of really, really nice colors and a lot in each family. The Arteza does have something that the rest of them don't have, and that is a set of metallics as well. So they do have some really nice metallics in the Arteza set. The Art and Fly are beautiful. This was a new pencil to me. I had them, I swatched them, I only colored with them once before I did this, and every time I color with them, they are just a joy to color with. And then the Black Widows, of course, went down beautifully on extremely toothy paper. That was one of the things that I have found so far with all of these pencils is they're not bottom of the barrel budget pencils, but they all seem to lay down very nicely and blend very nicely together on this paper. And like I said, I printed it the wrong way, so it's toothier than normal 67-pound paper. So the next one we're going to do is the Brunzials, which I have not colored with yet. I keep on meaning to, and I haven't gotten there yet. So the Brunzials, I've done the swatch, and I did a small coloring page, or a small coloring picture, sort of like these, for the review, but I haven't colored an entire picture with it yet. So I think maybe in our Saturday color along, I think I'll use my Brunzials just because I have to use them. They're just gorgeous pencils, and it's a shame to have them just sitting on the shelf. So we will definitely use those on the Saturday color along. So we're going to actually end up seeing how well they do with a dark grayscale. So this is the Black Widows. Okay, so, and we'll put the number there because it's all the sets. So all in all, so far, all 4 different sets have done beautifully. They all are budget friendly. The Black Widows are a little more expensive, especially if you're buying all the sets at once. If you do them one set at a time, it is still just as expensive, obviously, but it's not going to nail your pocketbook to the wall. The Artezas, when I bought them, were very budget friendly. However, I have noticed recently that they are getting up there to close to Prismacolor prices. So they're starting to get out of the budget friendly department and more into the higher cost areas of Artezas, Faber-Castells, that sort of thing. The Art and Fly pencils are a beautiful pencil, a wonderful 72 pencil set, and they are still budget friendly. Same with the Amazon Basics, a really nice budget friendly set. The Brunziels that we're going to use next week are not budget friendly. Those are a studio quality, professional quality pencil. And I think the next ones that are going to be a little bit budget friendly are, oh, actually the next ones are going to be the Blicks. Yeah, the next ones are Blicks. So the next ones will be a budget friendly, and then we'll get into the Brunziels, and the Brunziels won't be budget friendly, but the Brute Fruiners will. So unless you buy them under the Brute Fruiner name. So I'll explain that when we get to those. With that, I hope that you would subscribe. Of course, like the video. The more likes I get, the more YouTube decides to send me people to watch my videos. So of course, like the video, subscribe, and always, always leave me a message. Say hello. Love the video. Any suggestions on what you want to see in the next video, things like that are always appreciated. Tomorrow is Tips and Tricks Tuesday, and we're going to start with a gray scale, a dark gray scale, and how to color a dark gray scale. And we will finish that work on our Saturday color along. So we will do that tomorrow. Thank you all very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video from my collection. And of course, today is Collection Mania Monday, and I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your week. Until tomorrow, have a great day. Stay safe, color, and always relax. And I know I said that backwards, but that's okay. All right. Bye-bye, guys. Of course, like, comment, and subscribe.